with Andy Newport whenever Stephen is ready.
Good morning, Andy. I'm ready when you're ready.
Hi, Stephen. First, can I just get your reaction to this morning's news about Neil Lennon obviously leaving Celtic?
Well, look, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised because obviously what's been going on over there. But I obviously take no personal satisfaction from seeing that news to Neil or to any fellow manager that happens to. So I wish him well for the future. Only really found out about it this morning. But obviously the focus for me sitting here right now is obviously on the game tomorrow.
David Edgar, please.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Last week was quite an open match with Antwerp. Do you anticipate tomorrow night being something similar, or do you think that given they don't really have a lot of room for manoeuvre now, they may try and keep it tight and maybe see if they can get something from a set piece or whatever and keep it live going into the last 15 minutes?
Well, to be honest with you, I can only really tell you how I think we're going to approach it. I don't really know what the opposition are going to do in terms of their manager's tactics or their game plan. Obviously, the scoreline sits how it is in terms of the advantage we've got. But we certainly won't be going in with that mentality. We see this as a fresh game. We certainly want to improve on our performance from a defensive point of view. We want to be a lot more tighter and a lot more difficult to play against. But having said that, we still want to carry a threat and we want to try and score as many goals as we can. But at home, we're not going to sit and wait and protect. We're going to treat this game in isolation and go for the win and be really aggressive and bold in how we play, because this is our home and we want to show everyone how difficult it is to play against this team when they come to Ibrox.
Ronnie Jorders, go ahead, please.
Morning, Stephen. Obviously, with Antwerp being behind, do you imagine they're going to come and be a bit more on the front foot? Could that play into Rangers' advantage going into the second leg?
We'll have to work it out. We'll have our own game plan and the players will have our own way about going things, and we'll see how Antwerp's set up. But the players are going to have to be clever. They're going to have to be aware of Antwerp's game plan, and I think that'll be in the opening stages. We'll see whether they come and press us and get after us. If they do, we'll try and utilise the space behind them and we'll try and play through that press and do whatever we can. And we'll also be ready if they, come with a little bit more of a cagey approach. We have to adapt on the job and be ready for whatever's thrown at us. But we'll make sure that the players are prepared for whatever's thrown at us. But for me, it's always a case of the focus being on us and how we're going to be about it and how many problems we're going to cause the opposition. And we've been fantastic at home, and we want to be right on the front foot from the off and really go and put in a performance to make our supporters proud. If we do that, I'm confident we can finish the job off. But we certainly got respect for this opposition because they've shown last week that they've got dangerous players. We know they're going to welcome one or two back as well. So we have to be at it and at our best, and that's why the focus has got to be on us.
Andrew McLean, please.
Hi, Stephen. I'm able to get just an injury update on Ryan Jack and the progress of James and Kamar.
Yes, nothing's changed in terms of the James and Kamar. We obviously have had the reports back on the scans and, I think to be sensible, we're looking around that 3-week mark for both situations. Obviously, two different injuries. Obviously, the medical team will rehab both players. I've got confidence they'll have them back when it's safe for them to return. In terms of Jacko, we've had more positive news on the scan, so there's not very much muscle damage in there. There's no muscle tear, but there's been a small bleed in there that we're going to have to protect. So he'll be a couple of weeks as well, but it's definitely on the positive side rather than the negative side in terms of his reports.
Craig Vickers, please.
Morning, Stephen. Do you think last season's experience against Braga over the two legs could serve your players well going into this, in terms of, you also had that frantic first leg like you did last week, and then you were able to close it out?
Listen, I think you can always tap into experiences, good or bad, from previous games and fixtures. But with all due respect, this is a new fixture against a new manager, a new opposition. It's a new game. The game sits different. Obviously, we went to Braga in the second leg away. This time we're at home. So it has a lot of differences as well. But I don't think there's any harm tapping into previous experience, especially when you've been on the good side of them, you know, to use that for confidence and belief going into this game. We want to back ourselves. We want to play at the right times. But I think the key to this second leg is what we do out of possession, how organised we are, how difficult we are to play against. I've got no doubt that at the right times we can hurt this opposition, but we have to do the most important job first, and that's to be tough, organised, difficult to play against, aggressive, and then go and create our moments to execute when they come.
David Tanner, please.
Morning, Stephen. Stephen,
morning.
when you look back to this stage last year, what do you think is the big difference between your team, your squad now, and 12 months ago in terms of growth?
Well, I think our recruitment was very good. I think adding key players to what we already had here was very important. I think the experience of the previous 2 seasons as we've used to our benefit in terms of our growth and trying to move forward. The work that's happened on the training pitch from all my coaching staff that we've put in as well. I think it's been a real combination of factors, but I think the key thing here is always that hunger and determination to become more consistent. I think our results have proved that. We've been unstoppable up to this point. Obviously, St Mirren are the only team that managed to do that, and we weren't ourselves on that night. Credit to St Mirren, but we came off what we've been for the majority of the season, and that's been a real hungry team, and we've managed to find that level of consistency to get results.
Sahil, Sky, please.
Hi, Stephen. You mentioned the other week that you let yourself think about the title but not get carried away. Can I just ask, sitting there now, knowing that you're 90 minutes away potentially from the last 16 of Europe, you're 7 points away from the league, how do you feel sitting there as Rangers manager? What does it mean to you? Because you can see on social media what it means to the fans, but what does it mean to you?
Well, look, I think it's not about me, is the truth. It's about the supporters, it's about the club, it's about the players. I totally respect the position I'm sitting in right now. We're on the verge of turning Europe into a successful season again by matching last season's effort to get into the last 16, but we've still got a big job to do tomorrow night. If we can do that, that'll be a real positive in terms of our journey, but that'll give us the determination to try and go one step further than last year from a European point of view. We're obviously on the verge in terms of the league campaign, which I'm extremely proud of, but my attitude and focus won't change until we go and get it done. There's still work to do. There's still hurdles to get over. There's tough games on the horizon, but we're extremely determined to go and take the opportunity that we've got sitting here right now. That opportunity is to make Europe a success and also domestic in terms of the league as well. So it's a fantastic position to be in, but we've got to go and grab it now and really go and capitalise on the position we're in.
Thanks, folks. Thanks, Stephen. I think at that stage, unless I've missed out anyone, that's broadcast over.
Sorry, David, can I also get permission to record before we start? Apologies.
We good to go?
Good to go? Okay, go ahead, David.
Excellent. Morning, Joe.
Morning.
Joe, what is it about Europe, do you think, that brings out the best in you and the rest of the squad?
I'd just say, like, just the occasion, you know. It's like such a big tie. We know what it is in Europe, and we just get a buzz from that. And yeah, I just feel it's just the occasion, literally.
Andrew McLean, please.
Hi, Joe. The manager was saying after the game on Sunday that he feels that the real Joe Aribo is back. Are you able to kind of detail to us what it's been like on your return from injury earlier on in the season and how you've been feeling on a game-to-game basis?
I would say I would be like, I was ahead of myself, I think, because as the gaffer said, it was like my first long-term injury, and I thought I could just come back and get up to speed straight away. I knew I had to bide my time in the end, but I just wanted to get back playing and be at my best straight away. But it's like more of a journey rather than just getting to the finishing line straight away.
Sorry, Craig, I was muted there. Apologies. Let's try that again. Craig Vickers.
Well, and Joe, I know you obviously have experience of this type of match, obviously last season against Braga. But how much do you sort of relish and enjoy these matches? Because it's not something that every player gets to experience and enjoy in their careers.
To play European football is obviously a massive, it's a big stage. So it's always nice to be involved in these kind of fixtures and playing these games. It's just like a cherry on the ice. And
Andy Newport, please.
Joe, just going back to what Andrew was asking a couple of questions ago about the return from injury, just from a mental point of view, how hard was that for you to cope with, as you say, in your first sort of longer term injury, and did you do anything throughout that period in order just to keep your spirits high? Was anybody you spoke to, or you're outside the club?
No, I didn't speak to anyone, but I spoke to my family a lot more. I had them pushing me and helping me. They were around here and there. So just having them with me kind of helped me with the injury. I say mainly just my family it was.
Cathal, go ahead, please.
Hi, Joe. You're obviously 90 minutes away from the last 16 and closing in the title as well. Just what's it like in the camp right now and being around the boys? What's the mood, and when you hear that, how does that feel as a Rangers player, knowing how close you are to achieving what you're close to achieving?
Well, yeah, the boys are in high spirits, but all we're doing is just taking every game as it comes. We're just looking at the next 90 minutes and wanting to get the results that's needed in order to keep pushing to where we're going.
Ronnie, go ahead, please.
Hi, Joe. Just to pick up on Andy's question as well. Obviously, in terms of that injury, how much do you think that experience of maybe underestimating how long it would have taken to come back has helped you grow as a player, and what will you be able to use not only just now but in your career in the future as well?
It's definitely helped. I know, if I ever get another injury, I know I'm gonna have to take my time. I remember when I was first injured, I spoke to the gaffer, and he also said to me that he's been there, he understands it, so don't worry about it, because I would let it play on my mind a lot. So just even in that, it was just take your time, and when you come back with it, you'll be back. And yeah.
Folks, I think at that stage that's broadcast done, unless missing anyone. No.